Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all well. I'm back in the lounge today. In the back room. I kind of didn't really work, so I'm back here. So it does give my neighbour excuse because she keeps wanting to actually mow the lawn, and she's blaming me because of not being able to do it, which is really funny. But she could do it after this at 10:30. Anyway, right, let's start off. Right, okay, cool. Then let's have a look. And excellent. Right. Really, really good, which is lovely. Put the furniture back outside, so hopefully we can enjoy it this weekend. So just waiting at the moment. Hello,
Hello
Laura.
there.
Hello. So if you could introduce yourself and tell us what you make and sell.
Absolutely. So my name's Anne, and I'm a maker of handmade jewellery. I make all sorts of different things in my life. I mean, I knit and I crochet. I'm more or less a serial crafter, if you catch my drift. But the thing I love to do is to work in metal, and that's the thing that I make and I'm starting to sell.
Fantastic. And so why did you set up your business? And also, how did you come up? Was that you?
Excuse me.
and, and how and how did you come up with your business name, which I think I can work yours out?
Yeah. Well, I mean, business names are a bit of a challenge, aren't they? I decided to go very simple because I make a wide variety of different things. I didn't want to be constrained by my business name. I knew I want to make jewelry and
Sure.
metal work, but often jewelers are influenced by perhaps nature or perhaps more minimal and structural design, and I'm an explosion of ideas.
Yep.
I don't like to be bound by one individual method or
Oh,
technique, so
brilliant.
I just decided to keep it simple, actually, and just call
Yeah.
it me.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
But why? Yeah, why did I set up my business? Well, I really wanted to turn the creative outlet that I love the most into something. As I say, I'm a jack of all trades. I do all sorts of things.
Yeah.
But the outlet that gives me the most joy and the most challenge is working in metal.
Yeah.
It's a joyful thing, but also you can find yourself muttering quite fruity words when things go wrong. And things go
Yeah.
wrong in a heartbeat when you're working,
Yeah.
with tiny little things. And I love that, and I hate that all at the same time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so that's the thing I really wanted to concentrate and focus on. But up until 2019, I was really just a hobbyist.
Sure.
I'm still learning. I'm still a
Yeah.
student of this craft, and I think I always will be. But after a rewarding career of about 20 years in finance and in numbers,
Yeah.
I'm an accountant by qualification.
Okay. Yeah.
There was an opening and a chance for me to sort of to do something different. So I just thought it was the right time to challenge myself
Sure.
and do some work that comes from me. I've
Yeah.
always done small commissions for friends and for family, but to actually drive something that comes from within and offer a design that's actually yours to the world is
Yeah.
nervous, but also really exciting. And that's where I wanted to stretch myself. So that's the reason I set up.
Excellent. And so, whereabouts are you based, and where is your workspace? Because
Oh,
as
well,
jeweler, you
that's
do
an
need that
interesting question.
workspace. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've met a jeweler and you've interviewed her on this live stream already. The biggest barrier to entry for jewelers is the tools. We
Yes.
love a tool, and
Yeah.
and I love a vintage tool, so I scour eBay, daily to see if I can find tools. They are expensive, so I do have a little workspace. I've thrown, no, I haven't thrown them out. I've found another space for the family bicycles and the
Right.
recycling and the
Yeah.
food waste. And I've set up in a little shed at the back of a house.
Yeah.
It's cold and there's no heating,
Yeah.
but it's my space, and I am slowly but surely trying to fill it with tools. But in the meantime, I go to a fully stocked studio run by the most wonderful partners. It's up in St Albans, so
Yeah.
I drive as often as I can, which isn't
Yeah.
as much as I'd like. to go to my mentor's studio. I mean, it's a wonderful place. It's got every single tool on the planet. So I'm not constrained there at all. At home, I'm constrained by the tools. It is good because it challenges you to do all sorts of different things in new ways and work with what you've got. So creativity becomes something different when you're working within constraints. So that's what I like about home.
Yeah.
But I also love going to the studio because there's all sorts of things to work with.
It's lovely actually. At the moment, there's Silver by the Button and Oddie and Hope are on here at the moment. So
hi guys.
I think Oddie and Hope, where her workshop, and you know, when she first with all her different hammers, what are they all about? And then I understood it, but it was like, why had she got so many different hammers? And it was.
I saw really... your hammers, and I'm really jealous.
But you know, as well, isn't it? It's sort of, you know, I think kind of thinking about the jewelers and the different jewelers is, you know, that's why with our events, we're trying to have different ones. That's why I liked about yours. There's lots of different variety, and I can see you take inspiration from lots of different things. And that's what's really nice about. I mean, how would you kind of say that how would you kind of say your jewelry? Because I find sometimes we've had to tone it down. There's sometimes there used to be quite a lot of the jewelers. So now it's about, you know, quality, not quantity with everything in our events. So what would you say makes your jewelry different from everyone else as such?
Okay, well, that's a really tough question to ask. It's the first time I've been on live, and I've got to blow my own trumpet now. So what makes me different? I work very small batches. You know, up until very recently, I really only did bespoke work. So the most run that I'll ever do of one thing is around about 10. If it's popular, I will repeat that. So this Christmas, for example, you know, last Christmas there was some really popular little stud earrings that I made, and so this Christmas I did that, but I did something different with them this year. So I added gold elements, and I used a beautiful technique called kyambu, which is a Korean technique where you put almost pure gold leaf onto the top. So I'm always adding things to my work. It's there's very few of my pieces include only one technique, because I get so little time to make. I want to cram in as much technique as I can, but yet at the same time keep it looking simple and structured. So I think my work, it looks very simple, but there's you asked what a later you're going to ask me about my phrase or my inspiration, but there's God in the small things, and there's devil in the detail. So that's where I operate. I have a pair of crazy Mr. Magoo glasses that give me massive magnification, so that I can really get up close and make sure that things really are perfect. And that's more for me and my perfection thing. But also for the customer, because you're going to bet that anybody that you sell your jewellery to is going to look up close. And before they even do that, they're going to really expand on the photographs on the internet. So it's got to look quality really up close, as well as looking striking from a distance. So I don't know whether I've answered your question.
I think you have,
Okay.
And I think as well, where you have, and it's really lovely as well to have a mentor as well, like you've said, and it's really important. And it's also a kind of almost doing what we're doing here is mentoring, and you know, people coming on board of mentoring them, isn't it? And I think it's a really lovely skill to have. And I know that with some of the new people that haven't done the events, it's like, get over there to the people that have. I think I've sort of talked about that, to sort of to kind of, you know, get that information from them, and you know, and then make it your own, and not, I think the word as well is to not copy, isn't it? It's having that inspiration or that mentor that you go, wow, but I'm going to do it my way, but I like what they do, but it's your own take on it.
And as a jeweler, I no longer look at jewelry on Pinterest and Instagram, because it's got to come from within. After the fact, sometimes I have a little look and I'm like, oh, gold, I've come up with something that's a bit similar to somebody else. But when it's driven from within rather than copied from externally, I feel okay with that, because there's so much to look at. And jewelry, you know, it's very basic. A ring is a ring, and a pendant is a pendant, and a pair of cufflinks is a pair of cufflinks. So there's very little innovation. All you can do, I think, is bring yourself to the party, bring yourself to the table.
Yeah. And it's true, isn't it? You look at sort of like, fashion designers and they have that, catwalk and that range, and then it's all copied, it's all different, but it's that, it will be affordable in different ways. It's quite interesting. And then at the moment, what's on trend, and, as I say, I used to work for French Connection. At the moment, it's like I used to love the new stuff that was coming in. At the moment, they've just set up the window display, and there's this lovely kind of emerald green, which I'm like, oh, I'd love to have sold that. It's really nice of what's coming in, those greens and the tropicals. Where we work with Dapper Suave with the things that we like, and we've got some new fabrics that we're working on. So I won't say too much because Rob will tell me off. So have you a favourite item to create, and why have you chosen it?
Oh, well, I'm really stressed over this one. Because everything I make for customers and clients is a favourite. Heart and soul goes into handmade work, whether it be jewellery or anything else that anybody else is going to have a stall and I'm going to meet. It comes from within, doesn't it? And it's meaningful to you. There was a recent pair of earrings that I made for a customer and a friend. I wonder, I've got them here. They had a stone in them. They were a little bit like this, if you see. And I've got a little video on Instagram, but I put a beautiful topaz at the bottom. Wow. And so it was a very square and very structured. It was hard to make. It's sort of almost an invisible setting, but it looked absolutely beautiful when it was finished. And the amazing thing was, it was my style, but it was exactly what she wanted. The look when she opened it up was just pure. I love seeing people open up, enjoy my work. But more recently, I've been looking at my back catalogue, my training pieces. So I've done a few classes, and as I say, I've got a really good relationship with the studio in St Albans. So this was a favourite piece. This was the one piece I decided to show you. I'll get it up close. It's a topaz ring. It's massive. Wow. It's really, really big. Gorgeous. But it's held together by just 3 rivets.
Wow. Oh my
I
God,
love the structural element of it.
Yeah.
You see, so many things went wrong with this. So many things went wrong. But it forced me to be creative and try and work around it. And in the end, I came up with something that I loved all the more for those challenges in learning and creating. Yeah. I keep on looking at this thinking, I'd love to do more of this. Yeah. But I'm working again now. So time is a bit of a challenge for me. One of these days, I'll do a range based on this training piece because I absolutely love it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I have, it sounds bizarre, but it was Halloween once and I needed this ring, and I've got this, and it's a big, massive red one, and it's Gothic. And I wear it quite often because it's such a, it's a bit of a showstopper, and usually, you're not going to mess with me. It's really, and I'm really wearing that. And also, I think as well, I think I talked to all the joy. I talked to you about it. It's like, do you do anything for men? And straight away, it's the cufflinks, where I suppose myself, I do like a bit of, a bit of something that's, fancy. What's the word I'm looking for? Something that that's really individual to you. And I've got some great sort of jewelry that I have. But it is. I mean, you probably, with men coming along, isn't it? It's just waiting and then having the bespoke one that you do for them, where it is more the women that buy the jewelry, isn't it?
Absolutely, well, it tends to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a vibrant community of guys out there who just, as you say, love a bit of bling. I have done cufflinks before, and I kind of like secret jewelry as well. The idea that you're wearing something that not everybody knows about. So I've been trying to design some collar straighteners, which they're there, and that they're there, and they might even be quite precious and have a jewel in them, but they're there and nobody else does. Yes. I kind of like that secret magic.
Oh, I was thinking of private piercings, but I won't go there.
Yeah. Well, there's that too.
That's that too. Have you been working on anything new this year at all?
Oh wow. Well, I mean, the challenge of last year was that last year was my year to get cracking, and I redirected all my energies to family life last year. So my tools gathered dust, and my creativity got sort of a bit strangled. So my brain is a bit of an explosion at the moment. Yesterday I had my first day off without the children. My first 5 hours off without the children since the 16th of December. So that's like
Wow.
4 months. So
Wow.
yesterday I did absolutely loads in the workshop. What did I do? I mean, I well, I watched you yesterday morning, and then I had a
Thanks.
mad panic about all these questions you were going to ask me. I worked on a commission. I prepared some metal for some gold leaf. I'm doing a piece of work for a lady who really loves gold, but
Yeah.
budgets are constraining. So
Yeah.
I'm finding a solution with a technique for her. I began experimenting with another technique called reticulation. I'm looking at sort of lunar landscapes at the moment.
Wow.
I've got
Yeah.
one here. Yeah, I've got one here. There we go. And this is where you nearly sort of melt the gold, so it
Wow.
nearly
Yeah.
goes into a complete sort of melty
Wow.
mess.
Yeah.
So I experimented with lots of that, lots of fire. Love a good bit of fire.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at new pattern rolling. I have a muslin finish, which is quite
Okay.
unisex actually. It works really well
Yeah.
with men's accessories and beautifully with ladies as well.
Yeah.
But I'm in the mood for new patterns, so I was experimenting with my brand new pattern roller as well, which is very exciting. So
Yeah.
that was just in 5 hours yesterday.
Excellent. I know as well. I know with a couple of jewelers, obviously last year, they were kind of finding it a little bit hard because people with jewellery, and Rob, what I was looking for earlier was the statement jewellery, isn't it? Of not being able to actually go out and actually show off your jewellery. So it's kind of had that impact on, I think, on a lot of people, and people kind of thinking, well, you know, I can't, what's the point of buying something because I can't go out, because you like to show off what you're wearing, isn't it? So
Yeah.
do you think that that's starting to pick up again with sales for you?
I think so. I've had a few customers who are like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to buy those earrings so I can look great on my Zoom call.
Exactly.
So yeah, you still got to look. It's not all about the tracksuit bottoms, is it?
No, it's not. It's not.
I I think it's picking up. It's springtime. You know,
Yep.
the flowers are blooming, the sun is shining. You know, metal sparkles beautifully in the sunshine, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
It does.
I think it's picking up. I'm not actively selling at the moment because I'm trying to spend some time designing and creating specifically for September, for when I come to
Yeah.
see you guys.
Exactly.
So I'm not. I don't have a feel for my own sales at the moment because I'm taking a little bit of a step back.
Yeah.
Last year was a challenge for the industry at whole because our supply lines, you know, they
Yeah.
had to stop. And also some of the people that you rely on. I work with a really great metal finishers in London, and they have a small studio. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's one or two people. So the time
Yeah.
scale is extended as well. So I'm really looking forward to this year. You know, we feel like we've got motion
Yeah.
out of the trough. So yeah, I'm hopeful and confident.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. No. It's and I think not just you. There's a lots of getting their products. I know Copper Top Candles, who we work with, that they you know, all of a sudden they're the pots that they put the candle in, they couldn't get them, you know, and they ran out, and they'd only just got them back, and it was just because, you know, the demand and everything as well, isn't it? And also those people that also start making candles because they think whatever, and you know, there are the ones out there that aren't that great.
Yeah.
Have probably gone out and bought all of the pots and bits, haven't they? So yeah, sorry. So
No,
as
okay.
you know that we have an ethos about being friendly, creative, and unique. So I think you were just going to go on to that earlier. So have you an ethos or a saying or something that gets you through?
Yeah, I think I've said it already. You know, there's
Yeah.
there's God in the small things and there's devil in the detail. The great thing about jewelry is that it caters to both of those. You know, it's a joyful and beautiful thing to make and wear. It lasts a lifetime. You know, it has longevity. You know, after I am gone from this planet, my silversmith mark will still exist. And
Yes.
hopefully some of the pieces that I have will be treated with love and care and handed
Yeah.
to, you know, to sons and daughters. So that's the wonderful thing. The thing is that things can go wrong so quickly, and
Yeah.
it's and you sometimes find joyful things and things that go wrong, but sometimes it's just a hot mess, and you just okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to send that to the scrap merchants and start all over again. So yeah, I think the devil in the detail makes for a really great piece of jewelry. Something can
Yeah.
look simple, and if something looks really simple, it's often not been simple to make.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. And also, I can't remember what it's called, but there's a new program that started. I don't know if you've seen it. So it's a bit like the sewing bee and the pottery bit
Yes,
jewellery. So I caught one the other
absolutely.
day. That
Yeah,
lady is ruthless as a
she
judge,
is.
isn't she? She is
Well,
ruthless.
she is ruthless, but you should look up her work. It's astonishing.
Yes.
And Sean Lane as well. He worked with Alexander McQueen, and some of
Ah,
his work is
right.
astonishing. So
Yes.
they both come from slightly different schools of thought, but
Yes.
together I think they'll be great judges. I'm
Yeah.
rooting for Sunny on that
Right.
program. Just for anybody who's listening, who's watching the program. I mean, he's a young guy. He's
Yeah.
only been a jeweler for about 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
He's self-trained. He trained off the internet,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
his stuff is great. It looks like it's been dug up from ancient history,
Wow.
or ripped out of a Renaissance painting. It's glorious,
Yeah.
and he already does what I want to do. He's made the move into gold. That is a really
Right.
big move for a jeweler, because
Yeah.
there's a big barrier to entry there. You've
Sure.
got to just feel that confidence to
Yeah.
just go and buy a bucket load of gold and start working in it. And he
Yeah.
did that. He made a conscious decision, and I feel that sort of welling within me this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. And it's great having these programs because, you find out and ideas. I mean, I have to say as well, the sewing bee's back on, and obviously with us that the sewing sheet, I just love it. And it's such good fun. And the people, and we sit, oh my god, what are they making? And the bits where they have to challenge them, it's really good. And then there's the cookery ones, and then and I think it's all about learning, isn't it? We all kind of sit down and I was talking to Andrea from Pocket Pottery. She was saying, you have to watch it. It's epic, and it is, isn't it? These people, what they're going through, and the meltdown, obviously, because it was filmed last year, and that whole thing, and oh god, and she needs a hug, and you can't hug her. It's just but it's really good programs out there.
Yeah,
That,
I love the
inspire
throwdown.
us.
I love the
Oh,
guy
yeah.
who is so passionate that work brings him to tears. I think that is just one of the most wonderful things. In fact, I often end up crying on the sofa as well.
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine if I was that kind of person? I came around to all the stalls crying at each stall. Please don't. Honestly, if a stall makes me cry, then I'll be like, no, oh god, yeah. Oh, I love it. There we go. Anyone can make me cry if their stall's that good. No.
Let's try not to do that.
So, what are your goals and dreams for this year?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, when I sat down to think about this question as well. You can tell I'm a planner.
Yeah.
I thought, well, it sort of feels like it's just, well, let's try this again, from last year. But actually, I looked up my goals from last year, and I got further than I thought. I wanted to, at the 1st of January, I wrote down, said I wanted to sell to somebody I didn't know. That's a big leap for a brand new business. And I did that. I did that in December, and it felt great. And then she came back for more, which felt even more wonderful.
Yeah.
And I wanted to plow everything that I was earning into tools, because I want to set up as well as I can in a measured way without like bankrupting myself. So and I did that. I made some really great sales at Christmas this year, and they all went into some tools. So that was really good. I also managed to launch a website. Not last year, but I put my efforts in February, and I've gone live with a website. I'm not actively selling, but I've made a few sales through it, which is really good. But the oomph required to actually get a website set up and connected, it all takes time and effort, and I hadn't really focused on it. So I'm really pleased I've done that. And my other goal for the year was to explore craft fairs and to meet people. As a lone maker, it can feel quite isolating, and I wanted to meet customers. And as well as my work coming from within, I wanted to take feedback and learn and gauge and tweak as a result. So that's going to be with you guys this year, which is really exciting.
And going back to what you just said about having going back and obviously buying the right tools, and it is so important, isn't it, as a business to actually have the right tools. So all of that makes your work better because you're using the top quality product. A chef has the best knives. So when we do our stuff, when we started, the thread that we used to buy, now we buy the best thread that you can buy because it would break on the sewing machine and you'd be cursing or whatever, but it's all those bits that you learn, and it's actually, those, to have a quality product, you need the quality tools to make them. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
You've got to start
yeah,
somewhere, and
yes,
restrictions bring creativity, but it's
yes,
all a learning process, and you figure out what works and what is half-hearted,
yep.
and depending on the quality of product that you want to sell, you just up your game, don't you?
Exactly, exactly.
Mm.
And I think what you said there as well, isn't it, of just being out and just getting that feedback from other people and not your family and friends. It's really, yeah.
Yeah, you're preaching
You
to
know
the
what
choir
happened?
there, aren't you?
Yeah, you know what happened? Your family and friends will come and they're biting you at the event, like, no, go away. No, we don't want them to go away. Obviously, want them to come. So, who is your support network?
Well, I've got two great mentors up in St Albans.
Yeah,
I must post their name on my feed afterwards so people
yeah,
can go check
sure.
out their work. They're ace.
Yeah,
And through that, I've developed a group of really supportive peers. People who are to still class themselves as learning, and people who still go to the studio
sure.
to
Yeah,
use all the tools. People are slowly, like me, gaining confidence in their
yeah,
work, and getting more engaged, just like we are now.
yeah,
Suppliers are terrific support as well, because I haven't been to university to study design and
yeah,
jewellery. There's a lot of things that I don't know. So when I'm working with, I've made some good relationships with some metalsmiths in London, and I think it's a stupid question. They don't mind.
yeah.
They'd rather I ask the stupid question, and then they can help me so that I can use their services to the best of their ability.
Yeah,
So yeah, my suppliers are a great network of support. But last by no means least, my pals. I can actually see a few of my pals
yeah,
on
it's
here.
lovely.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys,
yeah,
for your support. I love you, and my husband as well, who doesn't mind, being in the studio and drilling things and putting things together with me, and hoiking the bikes around so I can get more space. And yeah, so friends, family, suppliers, mentors, and hopefully this year you guys.
yeah. Exactly, exactly. So, what events you doing? So you're doing September and
October, I believe.
oh, I
Yeah,
wrote it down
I
because the other
decided
day.
not to do Christmas because Christmas tends to be a really busy making time of year for
Sure.
me, and in the bespoke department. So I wanted to give myself some elbow room. But when I come, I will be coming with a nice Christmassy order book.
Yeah,
So any customers who are thinking forward
definitely.
will be able to have a chat with me about that as well. So I don't
Yeah.
want to miss Christmas from your perspective. I just need the
No.
elbow room.
Well, another thing as well is, we're also, as Dapper as well, looking for other events as much as I keep saying it to her. And I love the whole hosting, but I like being behind, that's what my job was before. And I love the whole selling and meeting the customers. So, probably, at these events, if anyone else is doing it, I always kind of ask people, what events are you doing? So kind of seeing where they are, what other, just, it's quite nice to see if they're doing our events, what else are they doing? And then sort of like, so, there's those kind of chances where it might be that you can find out other events to join as well. So, I'm
Yeah.
not saying you're all mine, you can't go anywhere else. It's like, and then, what I end up doing is going to those events as well,
Mm.
to see what's going on and, find future people to work with as well, which is really,
Mm.
really great. There's a few sort of ones at the moment. I'm really kind of just to go out there and just to see people that, are doing
It's an
art.
outing, isn't it? It's just a
Yeah,
day
it
out.
is. It is. It is. Honestly, things are going in the diary, and we're actually going to do them. It's quite exciting. So the last question, yeah, exactly. Whoa, a life again. Why did you choose to work with Curated by Dapper Suave? I'll
Well,
do that when I do
I
it.
think
Whenever I watch
I
myself back, I say it, then I go. I saw myself doing it. It's like, okay.
you can't stop yourself.
I know.
So I knew about Handpicked for Dorking,
Yeah.
and I followed you on Instagram for a little while. So a silent follower. I'm not. I need to get better at Instagram. And you both seem so experienced, and at the same time you seem really friendly as well. And I just thought that if I was going to go this way, I needed somebody who was going to be supportive. I'm not naturally a brave person. This is probably the most out I've been about my creative side
Yeah.
after 2 decades in finance. So I get really nervous very quickly.
Yeah.
But I really want an opportunity to do this sort of thing right, and I just felt that you would be a really great support as I learn the ropes and have a fun time doing it. That's it.
Cool.
Really.
Yeah, and really excited. Yesterday, we're on about 14 website listings all around. So Visit Southeast and all of that. Just in talks this morning. That's why I was almost late for this phone call. I've just sent a press release to somebody who have just told me how to tweak it. So that's going out as well. So they've already said it's going to feature in their magazines all about what we're up to, which is really, really exciting. So there's lots of other things. And also, as I keep saying, I'm just working on something at the moment that's all about how to interact with your social media, how to set up your store, everything. That's going to be really exciting. So if you are, it'll be like a workshop, a Zoom or whatever, but I've been brainstorming the hell out of myself and writing it all down. Now I have to do it. So yeah, it's really, really exciting. And just all those little bits that you think, I haven't thought about that. And, like with Instagram, somebody yesterday who had asked me, she's been working on a website, and she's the website and the Facebook, but then she's got the Instagram. The Instagram was absolutely terrible. She knew it. Somebody else had taken it on. And so I gave it, and she was like, oh my God. And all the little things that she didn't know when she was posting that, in Instagram, that link doesn't work, and this doesn't work, and your video doesn't work, and that, and your bio. And she's like, oh my God. So it's really good. So I've told her she had to just totally archive it all and start again. And she was like, yep, I do. So and it was like, I can't believe I'm telling this person about this, but it's also using that experience to make it better, because Instagram is such a great platform, I think, with all the images and what you can do with it. So yeah, excellent. Really, really nice to meet you. It's lovely. Everyone, you too. Up. They've all got glasses on, haven't they? There's a lot of us have all wear the little glasses, which is lovely. So tomorrow, as I say, you can't escape. All right up to the bank holiday Monday. So on Saturdays and Sundays, I'm here, and we're with Anna from Quirk and Whimsy tomorrow. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her. Yeah. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Really great to see you. All Anne's details obviously will be posted. So pop in to have a look at her, and if you want, pop when this goes live on Instagram. Put your mentors under there maybe for people to see as well, so they can see it that we've talked about. And you've had some really lovely comments. Georgina from Own My Fudge, so she was very excited that you were joining as well. So I'm looking forward to trying that fudge. I might have to go on a little diet before so I can indulge. They're really, really good. And really nice mix of people here today that have joined, which has been lovely. So really great to meet you, and
you too.
We'll see you in September. Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
I better get making. Bye.
You better get on it. Get in that shed. The sun's out. It'll be quite warm out there, hopefully. Take care. Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye-bye.